What's up, wrestling fans, trading card collectors? Welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Cards. Today, not a wrestling video, but an update on my opinions on Topps Project 2020 baseball cards. Stick around, find out what I have to say. If you didn't see the first video I did on Topps Project 2020, you can go back and check that out. Right there. Pause this video. Go check that out before you go any further on this video. Anyway, all the great things I had to say about Topps Project 2020 baseball cards. Talked a lot about how much I love the set, how much you could probably make a profit off of it, almost a guaranteed 30% at some point. So why would I do an update video? Do I have any more thoughts and opinions? Well, I do actually. I'm no longer buying these cards, and here's why. The first part's very obvious. I completed my collection. As I said on the last video, when I started buying these, sure, I wanted to flip a few here and there. Wasn't trying to get rich off of them like that big boom we had when all the people bought thousands of those Griffey cards. Sure, I'm aiming for 20 to 30% profit. I'm good with that, but I was planning on keeping a lot of these too because I just love vintage baseball a lot more than I like modern baseball. I'm more attached to baseball of the 80s and 90s because that's what I grew up with, and I am modern baseball. I don't watch as much modern baseball. Anyway, I completed my collection of 20 cards total, representing one baseball player and one artist in total. So I have a little piece of everything that this Topps Project 2020 set has to offer without breaking the bank. I get all my cards in hand through the mail, which who knows when that's going to be. I'll do a full video on the entire collection, breaking down each card and why I like each card. This leads me to the next reason I'm not buying Topps Project 2020 cards, and that's how Topps is handling this whole situation. In my opinion, Topps has handled this whole set very poorly since the boom. In their defense, they probably were not planning on this high number of sales. They weren't planning on all these Johnny-come-lately overnight flippers making a quick buck, stocking up on these. We're kind of bringing it back to the feeling of the junk wax era when everybody stocked up on cards and now they're basically worthless. And with all these orders, it's caused quite a delay in shipping. They've ran out of one-touches. They've been overwhelmed with trying to get the orders out the door. And as a result, the quality control has just been... People have gotten cards in hand, including myself, scuffed cases, pieces of hair in between there, damaged cards, even though they're sealed inside the one-touches. It just makes no sense, and there's no excuse for it. As well as the shipping. I think they're like 100 cards behind right now at the time of this recording, or something like that. I have received not even a quarter of the cards I've ordered, and I understand they're overwhelmed, but this is really irritating. Another thing I noticed is kind of the lack of scarcity or rarity in these cards. Sure, you can get the randomly inserted gold border 1/1. You can get the numbered to 20 artist proof cards, but good luck getting those. The bots are just swooping those up. Randomly inserted 1/1s, nobody's really got a shot at those to begin with. So if you're buying them for those, plus the higher print runs, scarcity factor's kind of gone. However, what I have noticed is a lot of these artists who are doing the cards, or possibly some of the players, are buying these cards up for other reasons. These other artists that did the cards, or possibly the players, combination of both with a collaboration, they're buying all the cards from Topps' website as soon as they're released, and then they're adding additional artwork, autographing them, making them limited numbers, doing additional things to the packaging, and then, of course, raising the price, rightfully so. It's their right to do that. Got to make the money however you can, just like people who want to flip cards and make money on cards. That being said, those have kind of become the scarcity product. So a lot of people, if they're fans of the artists and want the rarity scarcity factor of something that may go up in value later, they really have no reason to go to the Topps website and purchase just the base card. Unless, of course, you're a player collector, team collector, set collector, and you just want these cards, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that because this is a really cool set of cards. Just saying that that's another reason I'm not buying anything anymore from Topps is scarcity factor is just gone. With all that being said, after I cut a heel promo on Topps Project 2020, after I cut the babyface promo on the first part of the video, again, if you haven't seen it, go back and check it out before you go any further on this video. How do I think you should approach Topps Project 2020 going forward? Here's what I think. If you like the players, if you like the style of cards, guys, keep buying these cards. They're fantastic looking cards. everybody likes something different. It's kind of like ice cream, something for everybody here, different flavors of art and different styles of players, whoever you're a fan of, 90s, 80s, way back, 40s, whatever. There's something here for everybody. I think this is one of the more important sets that Topps has actually ever released. It's really brought the, I'll say, mainstream appeal back to baseball cards that hasn't been there in a while, in my opinion. And you've seen news articles about these. Of course, it mainly exploded with the price of the Ermsey Trout card and the explosion in all of those King Griffey cards. But the point is, it's brought publicity back to baseball cards, which is what we all want. Plus, Gary V's launched it. Great combination of the two. This is a great set because it's merged the worlds of baseball cards and art together, and it's kind of exposed some people to both sides of that fence who maybe didn't understand the other world. I didn't know a lot of these artists. I knew some of them, but I've always been a fan of just random artwork in general, so I really dig this. Some of you gatekeeper, get off my lawn baseball card fans maybe were exposed to the art world and kind of dig it. Maybe it reminds you of some of those outlandish 90s cards that I'm such a huge fan of that, of course, were overproduced. But again, that's a reason why this is such a cool set. Just merging two communities into one, making cool products. As I've said, with having artists kind of cross over into the baseball world, it's also caused a lot of people to start getting creative, myself included. I decided, because this is wrestling and I love wrestling cards, I decided to make Topps Project 2020 wrestling cards, which you can go check out that video right there. Topps does own the right to WWE cards, which features a lot of legends that I put in these cards. Maybe not the styles, because those were other styles, which again, you'll have to go watch that video to see some of the card art that I used. But I've also seen people doing some amazing things with junk wax, cutting them out, piecing them together, making cool murals, using paint, using markers, just adding additional flair to junk wax cards or cards that really aren't worth anything. Now are kind of worth something. You can put them on eBay for a couple bucks, $10 if it's a nice piece of artwork that you made. Somebody will buy it as opposed to a penny, 1990 baseball card that there's millions of that nobody wants anymore. As far as from an investing standpoint goes on these cards, I think there's still some opportunity. I still stand by that 30%. You might mark it down to 20. I'm not planning on getting even that percentage right now. I'm talking maybe next year, a couple years from now. If they do this set again, people are going to want to go back and get some of the first cards from the very first Topps Project set, if they do Project 2021 or 2022, which I hope not, because that'll defeat the purpose. It'd be nice to have it I think every 10 years would be a really good idea. But another thing is people are going to want to go back and start possibly set collecting, player collecting on this. Secondary market is going to be the only place you can find these cards, so I think there's an opportunity there. With baseball starting back up and hopefully finishing the season without all this unnamed virus nonsense going on, I think that's going to spark, actually I know it's going to spark popularity of baseball cards. We've already seen it with some other cards. A guy hits 2 home runs, all of a sudden his card triples. It's a crazy market right now, but guys take advantage of it. And I think, like I said, the popularity of the baseball cards in general are going to go up, which is going to drive these up. Also, the print runs right now are way down compared to what they used to be. I mean, we're talking like 4,000, 5,000 cards on average. That's a much better number than what we were talking about a few months ago when an average card was like 30, 40, 50,000 print, which still is low compared to some cards, but that's not what we intended when we were buying these cards. We wanted the lower exclusivity of the print runs, which really isn't there like I talked about earlier, but they have calmed down, so that's good. Another thing is if you get some of these cards I've mentioned that have, scuffed cases, something inside the case, a blemish, anything like that, another option that you may be able to make your money back if you decided you don't want this card be part of this card anymore, or if you want to still try to profit, is bust that thing out, send it into PSA, BGS, SGC, whoever you want to go to. Sure, you're not going to get it back for a while, which may also increase the value because the market might be up by the time you get it back. But that's just another avenue to try to either get your money back or still make a decent amount of profit, sending them into grading by busting them out of the actual Topps case. I don't know, it's just a thought. So that's it for my Topps Project 2020 update video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What do you think of this video? Thoughts and opinions? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Are you still buying these cards? Let me know in the comments. Let's get a good discussion going on these. I think Topps Project 2020 is a great discussion starter no matter what avenue you're going to take on this or perspective you're going to take. Make sure to go down and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you never miss any of my upcoming videos. I know this is no wrestling video. I didn't even mention any wrestling cards in this video. I talked about cutting heel and babyface promos, but nothing else. But I've got plenty of wrestling videos out there. Go check them out. While you're there, check out my social media links and all my storefronts, eBay, Mercari. Check out my cards. And until next time, see you, wrestling fans.